Welcome to this top 10 linebackers list. If you're new to this channel, this is ranked by the consensus big board placement of each prospect. My own personal rankings along with their film will come out starting in February, so if you're interested, subscribe to the channel. So let's kick off this list starting with the 10th best linebacker. The first of two Georgia Bulldogs on this list in Jamon Dumas-Johnson. He's put together impressive production over his years at Georgia, and now he looks to bring that production to the league. His starting experience kicks off this list as he's still young, yet he's a 2-year starter on a dominant Georgia defense. He's a very aggressive player with nice hitting abilities, and because of his downhill nature, he even brings that blitzing upside like a Devin White kind of player would. Negatively, he's not the best tackler, and he often misses them due to being overly aggressive. He's a good blitzer and an electric player, but he doesn't bring that upside as a coverage linebacker and is just okay at best in the run. Finally, he brings a forearm injury to the league. Dumas-Johnson is an electric blitzing linebacker who brings the upside to be a coverage linebacker in the NFL. His most recent mock draft had him going to the Los Angeles Chargers. Next up is number 9, NC State linebacker Payton Wilson. He's been an anchor of the NC State defense for a while now, and he brings great leadership to the table. First off, Wilson is 6'4", 230 pounds, being lean enough to work laterally and being physical enough to be a stout run defender. He's an aggressive player, and he brings so much blitzing upside, having 10.5 sacks over the last 2 years. He also has value everywhere as backed by film and statistics. Negatively, he has huge injury concerns, having 3 major injuries from 2018 to 2021. He's also a very old prospect, and his longevity will be questioned for the NFL. As for traits though, he really doesn't struggle much except for his block deconstruction, which could use leaps at the next level. Wilson is an appealing prospect on tape, but his injuries and age bring questions to the NFL. He does not have a single common mock draft placement. Georgia's second linebacker shows up here, and that's Smael Mondon Jr. Also a junior like Dumas-Johnson, he brings that youth and starting experience to the league. I think what I like most about Mondon is his extreme versatility that he brings to the table. He can spread out across schemes, and teams love to see that. He's got good length, which translates to good ball skills and coverage that he's shown several times. He also has the play strength to quickly push away a blocker. On the downside, teams will cite his anticipation as a reason to not take a chance on his nice coverage traits. Everywhere else, he's nothing to adore, as in the run he's inconsistent, and as a pass rusher he's not great at deconstructing blocks. Mondon is a nice option at the linebacker position, and he deserves a lot of looks. Most mocks have him going to the Dallas Cowboys. This guy actually just declared a couple days ago. Danny Stutsman out of Oklahoma is 7th on this list. A tackling machine, he brings a nice combination of traits to the next level. Let's start with that tackling idea. He's a very productive linebacker who is very good at defending the run due to his high grit to make the tackle. He's got a nice frame as well, being 6'4", 236, and he brings nice length and angle upside for the next level. He is also a good block deconstructor, which adds on to his run defending upside. Negatively, he can get a tad overly aggressive at some points, and extremely elusive running backs are his worst enemy. He's not the most athletic guy, using his motor most of the time to make tackles on players. Along with that, he's a productive pass rusher, but he needs to be lined up on the edge for maximum compatibility there. Stutsman has been a keystone in Oklahoma's defense, and he looks to do the same for an NFL defense. Common mocks have him going off to the Cleveland Browns in the middle rounds. At number 6, Michigan's junior Colson makes his way onto this list. He's done a lot since joining the Michigan team, and he's going to do a lot in the NFL too. I love his NFL translation on paper. He's a physical beast at 6'3", 247 pounds, and he has that NFL skill set to be physical in the run, and he rarely misses tackles. He's just an exceptional tackler overall. He's got nice coverage abilities, covering the seams at high levels when asked to do so. Now, he does have some negatives in his tape. He's not the best at diagnosing a defense, which impacts that NFL translatability I just discussed, primarily in his scheme-specific nature. He's nothing to adore athletically, as while he has some nice traits, his speed just is not enough to chase down anyone who may get past him. Colson is a good option for teams that want to take a safe 3-4 inside linebacker. His most common mock draft spot is to the Seattle Seahawks. Kicking off the top 5, consensus has North Carolina's Cedric Gray. A huge impact for the Tar Heels. NFL teams are going to get a good one here. First off, he has great starting experience, and he's registered 364 tackles over the last 3 seasons. Trait-wise, he's a nice coverage defender and reads defenses at very high levels, and he's going to be expected to work as a Mike in the NFL. He's also nice athletically with the elusiveness to stuff rushers, the speed to play sideline to sideline, and the explosiveness to quickly cover gaps. On the negative end of things, he's not the best physically. Sure, he's got the prototypical frame, but play strength could use some improvements for the NFL. With North Carolina, his job variety was pretty limited, and teams are going to be concerned for his ability to work as an all-around defender for that reason. Gray is an appealing prospect because of his ability to be a professional-level leader. He has common mock drafts to the Seattle Seahawks. Number 4 is someone I'm surprised is not higher. Tommy Eichenberg out of Ohio State. I'm surprised he's not higher because of his big name, but he also has the ability to be a starting linebacker in the NFL. I think Eichenberg's NFL translation is among the most appealing of any position. He's got the build, the strength, and the overall prototype to play as a 4-2-5 linebacker in the NFL. Not only does he have the traits, but he also has the grit to always finish out a play. And honestly, his leadership is going to be one that teams love. Negatively, his athletic profile should use some work. He's got speed, but his control over himself is definitely a con, as he often either gets too aggressive or he just gets juked out by elusive skill players. Speaking of those elusive players, he doesn't have the tackle radius to jump over and make the play, which is expected to come out with a 6'2 frame and low length. Eichenberg is a good prospect, but more appealing, he's a good leader. He's one of 3 linebackers with consensus placements, and he is mocked 54th overall to the Pittsburgh Steelers. The top 3 starts with Edgerrin Cooper, a junior out of Texas A&M. He's a competitor for sure, and he brings a unique skill set to the league. Cooper is such an athletic linebacker with great explosiveness and top speed. His alignment versatility is among the best in this class, lining up as a Mike, a 3-4 inside guy, or even an outside linebacker. His best trait may just be his blitzing ability, as he had 8 sacks in 2023. He can do it inside, or even just generally pass rush as an outside linebacker. On the downside, he's nothing to adore physically. His play strength is average at best, and he has huge concerns in contact balance. He's good in the pass rush and is solid in coverage, but run defense translation is going to be a wide concern. Cooper is a unique player that we don't see a lot of in the NFL, but I like it. His consensus placement is 41st overall to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, here's the deal. There are 2 Clemson linebackers who round out this list. The first one on this list is Barrett Carter. Carter does seem a little bit raw when I'm going to go through his traits, but he should still be looked at everywhere. Carter has a really good frame outside of his height, and he's got a stout frame and really good length that brings nice tackling. He's an athletic linebacker, being elusive and being able to match running backs in the run game. Along with that, he's a very nice QB spy and plays well at the line of scrimmage, also plugging gaps in the run. On the flip side, he's got some coverage concerns, especially for his translatability. He's the best in man coverage, as in zone he struggles with anticipation and can't really read an offense well. A lot of people compare him to Trenton Simpson, who got drafted in 2023, but he's generally worse than the other Clemson product. Carter isn't the best translator, but he's definitely a prospect worth taking a chance on. His consensus placement is 44th overall to the Philadelphia Eagles. Finally, the best linebacker in the 2024 NFL Draft, according to consensus, is Jeremiah Trotter Jr. As a Clemson product, he's honestly very similar to Carter, and the 2 make a really good duo as well. But let's talk about his NFL draft ability. Jeremiah Trotter has the more appealing versatility for the NFL. He's more like Trenton Simpson, as he's able to line up as that outside linebacker but also move inside as a blitzing option. In coverage, he has the anticipation that teams want to see. He's also an athletic option, being speedy and a nice downhill attacker with the best tackling angles in this class. Negatively, he's not the best as an inside run defender. Once backs get past the first line of defense, he struggles to make that wrap-up tackle. He's a decent block instructor, but when it comes to athletic upfield blockers, he struggles to get under and around the blocker. Trotter is an appealing prospect, and it makes sense why he's number 1 on this list. There are no consensus placements for him, but common mock drafts have him going to the Seattle Seahawks or the Philadelphia Eagles. Which linebacker do you want your team to take? Let me know in the comments down below. Well, that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. I have a lot of NFL draft content and college football content coming out in the next few months, so if you're not subscribed, you're missing out. Once again, I'm Chase Keller from Chase Keller Journalism, and thank you guys so much for choosing this channel as your source of sports coverage. I'll see you guys in the next video.